we want to give our students the right to dream their dreams, to be anything they want to be, and we ought to provide them with everything that's necessary, a total package of everything that's necessary for them to be all that they can be, all that they want to be. First is, it's a pilot program, but it's going to be called the Woodland Hills Academy. That has Spanish language starting at kindergarten and going up through every year. It'll be a K-6 program to begin with, and then it will go on to be a 7th and then an 8th grade program. And then they would go to the high school after that. There'll be uniforms, a longer school day. The school day for students will be 7.5-hour day. A longer school year, it's 195 days, which is an increase of about 15, 16 days. And it will go in a different schedule. The curriculum also will borrow some from the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs that we can hear about. It will borrow some from that. So it'll be a number of different things. But basically, the school says every kid can learn to a high degree of excellence. Now, that's something that educators say all the time, but we're going to show that it really does happen. We believe that you can teach intelligence. Program at the high school we're going to call it the 7 to 7, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that's an extended day. Now, that's going to do a number of different things, not just one thing. It's going to give a chance for credit recovery. Students who haven't done well and need more courses. Students who are suspended or expelled for more than 3 days will have a place to go. We won't send them home. We'll send them to this program that'll run from 3 until 7. But it'll also be for students who say, I want to take an extra course. I want to graduate in 3 years. I don't want to go 4 years. We think that you ought to have it like the popular wrestling says, you ought to have it your way. And so we want you to graduate in 3 years. On the other hand, we want you to stay 5 years if you have to. It's important. We send a lot of students out to other programs during the year. We want to bring all those back into the district, have our teachers do the teaching, because we think our teachers do a lot better job. And so that's another thing we're going to try to do. So the extended program is immensely important. It'll be at the high school, and the extended program and the after school will apply not only to 9-12, it'll be from 7th grade, so it's 7-12 program. The other program that we're talking about and we're going to implement is what we call a College Now program. We want students to be able to go to college while they're still in high school at no expense to them or to their parents. So that it would include tuition and books, and we would provide the transportation. Now we're working with CCAC to try to work out some fine points of that. We've made a proposal to the governor on that. We've talked to our state senators and to our state representative about that program. We feel that's a big program because for our students, we have a high degree of poverty in our district. We want to get them interested in college, but it would be cruel to interest them in college and not give them a way to do it. So we want them to be able to complete 2 years of college before they get to high school. Now, you're going to have very good averages. You're going to have to do your part. This isn't going to be automatic, okay? You're going to have to pass the test in mathematics and English to get in. No remedial courses. We're not going to pay tuition for remedial courses. So there's a lot of things you have to do. But once you do your part, you see, then you get in here. And look at what we're going to do in the extended program. Let's say as freshmen and sophomores you're not quite doing it, you can get the extra help. You can take the extra courses. You can get your average up to where it ought to be so that you can go on to college. So all these programs are going to work together. The reason we're doing it with CCAC is because that's the best tuition value in the Commonwealth. There's nobody that comes close. And, community colleges only do one thing. They teach it. They teach and they do it well. Let's look at our athletes. If our athletes do this, and now it will be a dual enrollment, so they won't lose any eligibility, okay? But now a college comes in, is looking one of our excellent football players, and says, can they make it in college? Wait a minute, they've already made it in college. Okay, we've given them a program, they've made the courses. Now all of a sudden, you say, well, but they only need 2 more years of college. Well, gee, then they'll do their master's degree while they're playing football for Penn State or for Pitt or someplace like that, or basketball. So see, it just opens up possibilities for our kids that are magnificent. Let me give you one example of a district that I worked on. That when I came there, their test scores were decidedly below average, decidedly. In 5 years, we went from that to having the highest ranking in the state of Ohio. Everybody says, you can't do that. That won't happen. And my answer always was, don't tell our teachers and don't tell our students because they think they can do it. And as a matter of fact, that's exactly what they did. When that happened, I'll tell you a small story about when we made that top rating in the state. The school board member, who remains a dear friend of mine, called me and said, I read that and I cried. She says, I always believed in your vision. Okay, and I corrected her and said, our vision. But I've always believed in you. But when you told us we would be tops in the state, I said, it's a good goal, but it'll never be accomplished. Well, let me tell you, as far out as my goals may seem, I don't do them to make headlines. I do them and I say them because that's what we're going to do. That's what we're capable of doing. The Woodland Hills Foundation will be a conduit for that to happen, I think, okay? Let's say that somebody comes and says, and you never know where these sources are. I've seen it happen. But somebody has done well with their financial picture all their life. Nobody else knows it, okay? But in their estate, they're going to have $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And that's not unheard of, okay? You see, the foundation gives us a way to bring that to bear on the programs of the district. It also gives individuals who can make contributions, and it's tax deductible. It gives corporations, and it gives us a way to implement not only directly corporations, but some things under the law of the Commonwealth that will allow them to have tax breaks for contributions. It's so important, we can't do it without the foundation. All we've got to do is get everybody pushing in the same direction. Now, that isn't always easy. Change is difficult. It's difficult for me. It's difficult for everybody, okay? So I have to realize that along the way, there are going to be bumps. There are going to be a lot of bumps. Even when you're trying to do the right thing, there are going to be bumps because change is difficult. But we have to deal with that change process. But I know for teachers and all educators, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing a high degree of accomplishment by all students. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing a student that everybody thought couldn't do it, that they did it. Only one way for people to know what we're like. You have to come and see us. It's not me saying that our schools are safe, because they are. It's not me saying our curriculum is challenging and rich, because it is. It's not me saying that our children now have a chance to dream. Some of them had a chance to dream before, but now 100% have a chance to dream. It's not me saying all those things. Come and see us. Walk in our buildings. Check into our high school. Come unannounced. Check in right, walk through the buildings. See our teachers, see our students, eat in our cafeteria. That's where the rubber hits the road. It's what's really going on. Not what I say. It's what our kids are doing. Come to our athletic contests. Okay? Come to the musical. Come to our program around January or December, January, okay, where our kids are performing. Okay? Come to our swim meets. Come to our rifle meet. Come to all those things. That's where you're going to see what's happening in Woodland Hills, okay? Don't listen to the superintendent, okay? Don't listen to anybody else. You come see for yourself. Come as often as you want. That's where you're going to see what's happening in Woodland Hills. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the best educational system surely in Allegheny County. There's others good, but there will be none better. And I will tell you this, there is none better within the confines of Allegheny County.